Hi, Nicholas Thompson here, and I'll be going through my Action Research Virtual Poster presentation. I'm in section 4, Greg's class. Uh, so first let's start off with the problem statement, which is pretty much this is a question that really resonates with me, personally and professionally. It is something that I've always tried to bring into my life, and as I venture into being an educator now within the classroom setting. So the use of positive reinforcement can really improve students' overall attitudes and outlook on learning. Researching this topic will improve my teaching abilities, allow me to find improvements that I can implement into my own classroom and into my own practice as a teacher. It's something I've always been interested in and very passionate about. Seeing like how whatever it's something positive you say to a student or your actions, how it can impact students greatly. So the question is, how do I improve my ability to use positive reinforcement strategies to improve achievement and or behavior of students within the classroom? Um, I think this is a very open-ended question. It's a question that you can do so many different things with, but I really I kind of focus for my action research on different aspects of the teaching, whether it be you know positive reinforcement through a popcorn party or free time or just a phone call home, something positive that keeps like I should continue being good, where the students realize that I need to be on my best behavior. Definitions I focus on, so positive reinforcement. So when you give someone praise or reward for their behavior or work, as they continue to do well, that motivates them to continue want to do well. So they know, okay, I did well today. If I'm good tomorrow, I'll get another reward or get another praise from Mr. Thompson. Strategy, a plan or an action. So looking at different strategies that I can implement. Achievement, something that is done successfully, usually through effort, courage, or skill. Behavior, which is pretty much how they act, especially towards other. I think especially in the classroom setting, you're gonna have students who evolve, behavioral, you know, you know, I guess behavioral points in their life. You're gonna have kids who are great behavior, kids who are respectful. And you're gonna come across kids who have horrible attitudes or horrible behavior towards you or your classmates. So I think you have to always keep it open minded, be open minded as a teacher, and always gonna remind yourself that as much as you'll try and try and try, you're always gonna have that one or two students who just are always difficult, and that kind of ties in with attitude as well. And I think with those two as well as classroom management. So as a teacher, you kind of find the different strategies or techniques that work for you to kind of keep a student organized, orderly, attentive, on task, academically doing the work and being productive in a classroom setting. So looking at my through lit bibliography, I found three great resources. This one here provides different methods of teaching, of instilling good habits and behaviors through positive reinforcements. It looks at the meaning of positive reinforcement, the theory behind it, how it works, and the possible techniques that can be used. So this is more of a theory-based resource that I found. A lot of definitions, a lot of long writing about what it is, how it's done, how it can be implemented. So a great resource to kind of have like as a guide to like answer the simple questions like, so what is positive reinforcement? What does it look like? How does it work? When would you implement it? This is a great resource I really found, and I think I got a lot of information from this resource as well for this topic. Second one from the Alberta government is this resource provides key information on choosing effective reinforcers that align with your positive reinforcement. So it focuses on what you're looking to achieve and different ways you can enforce them and achieve that. So it delves into not only implementing them, but provides strategies of how you could implement them and how you maintain and manage them within the classroom setting. And the third one is a students-based approach to help educators discover student-centered approaches that will have a positive impact on the class environment. So this one is interesting because it focuses on student developing their own kind of ways to build positive reinforcement. So it looks at what they may like or maybe they don't like, and how they can fix it or develop it within a classroom setting. So going into them now. So summary number one, from the first lit, uh, it defines what positive reinforcement is, which is what they say is introduction of a desirable, pleasant stimulus after behavior, capitalizing on good behavior with the help of a reward. And depending on the individual, positive reinforcement can be very effective. As I said, you can have so many different students in class. You're gonna really have to find out what works and what doesn't. Um, Type of reinforcers. So they provide reinforcers. So you have natural, which is you know, given they achieve good grades and you praise them for that. Token, a reward system like a chart. So if someone does, is helpful in the classroom or does a good deed or says something, really, nice to someone, you say, hey, Jimmy, for example, go put a sticker next to your name on the reward chart. Social expressing approval or behavior. So again, words of affirmation kind of thing. Good job, good work. I like seeing that. Tangible, physical rewards, which is like treats or toys or as I said, a popcorn party, maybe a movie at the end of the week or something. So I found that learning accompanied by positive feelings and associations is more likely to be remembered. So them doing good behavior and them being rewarded with something, whatever it be a toy or a treat or positive words, they'll remember to be good and they'll always want to continue to try to be good within a classroom setting, I think. Number two, providing students. So this one looked at providing students with something that they value and desire, allowing them to make positive changes in their behavior. So this looked at really effective reinforcers, which is you know not just picking reinforcers and implementing one, but really focusing on is it age appropriate, is it frequent, is it maintains interest, provides immediately as the behavior occurs. So I think this really looks at like you could put influences like as through the different grade levels. Maybe a younger group you would have different strategies you'd use for a younger group than an older group, because kids I think would be a lot more easier to say, hey, here's a treat or a toy. While the older you really have to find out what would work for them. Maybe it's instead of doing a full essay, you get to do half an essay. Things that was like, okay, I can get this done. It's not the full thing, but it really specific to I think the students and the age and maybe the grade you're looking at, and the needs. I think, and I also like the needs of the students as well. Social reinforcements, just a smile or compliment can increase and maintain positive student behavior. So, in the morning times, I did this through my placements. When the kids walk in, I'd say, "Hey, good morning. How are you?" Always, because you never know that good morning can make someone's day, and that could have a great impact on on kids going forward. So, and this is also it also touched upon like being able to like manage and monitor the behavior or recording it, whether it be a reward chart and maybe notes or anything you're gonna do it. Maybe interviews with them as well. You could do that as well. Looking at strategies, the third one, looking at strategies to misbehavior according to the traditional get tough strategies. So this looked at you know, back in the day, the get tough strategies was like, it has to be done like this. No, do you have no choice? How I grew up in the school system, like there was only one way of things, and that was it. But now you really have to, kind of move away from that, especially as a teacher now, and use positive strategies. So you build relationships, encourage students to be conscious of their behaviors and student-friendly conduct. It's all about, being an inclusive member in the classroom, which is a big thing now. It's so diverse, the school system in your classroom. You really have to, you know, be open minded that, not everyone's the same as I said before, and you really have to make sure you build relationships with each student to know what works and what doesn't. Um and yeah, so that's pretty much what I got from this one. It's a good way to empower students' academic success because you know what they like, you know what they don't, and you really work with them to kind of see what works and what doesn't, to kind of build their knowledge and skills within the classroom, and build a safe environment, which is key. Uh, my research action plan, looking at the data sources. So there's three data sources: a reward chart, which acts as a visual cue for those who are learning and a reminder of what they should be doing if they want to earn a reward. This was selected as a visual interpretation, which allowed them to like actually see their successes as they go along through if I do for a week and we start over or a month. So we'll see where they are and kind of work towards, I want to get this many stars for this month so I could, get a prize or, free time or something. Classroom contract. I actually did this to my most recent placement. We had a classroom contract based on their behavior. So everyone had to write out a contract that we had developed, me and the teacher, and they had to write it out and they had to sign it. And if they were ever bad, they'd have to take it home and get their parents to sign it, telling them what they did. And it was a really a good way to kind of keep kids accountable for their actions and motivate them to like not getting in trouble, kind of way, and remain a good member within the classroom. And just regular notes, teacher notes, leave a little journal or a book, just kind of going around, you see something good, kind of put in your notes as a reminder, and then, that could be done as something useful, going forward if it's, even if it's during like report card time and you need like a comment or interviews, you need to go to your book and say, hey, I saw him do this at this time, and you have it all visually there for them to see because parents love seeing that stuff. I know I would. Triangulation, validity, reliability. So start with the chart, having the student's name on it. So it's something visual they can see, with the different stars, stickers next to their names, compliments of the good behavior. So, for example, I had Angela. I really like how you're being a good listener and waiting for your turn. Go put a sticker next to your name and reward chart next to rewards charts. This ensure, as a teacher, you do it with like enthusiasm and positive and passion. So maybe if that happens, you'll see it. You'll kind of stop the class and say, "Hey, Angela, I like that," so everyone can hear him, so everyone can be motivated. As I said, the classroom contract, something they can write to remember to be good. And then interviews with the students, you can do a questionnaire of like yes or no or short answer questions based on how their feelings of the strategies that you're using. How do you like the rewards chart? How do you like, the contract, and kind of get information from them to see, okay, what would work better, maybe, so really involving the students, which I think is a big part of anything you do as a teacher. Participants, mostly the students within the school. Um, as the data can be collected in a classroom setting, so it can be class. I think you can collect data from every single classroom, from kindergarten to grade 8, for example, because I'm a JI focused teacher. So you get other teachers to start doing this and seeing what works, and maybe they can uh, find strategies or implement different strategies as well, because that's what teaching is all about: sharing and learning. Ethical considerations. So confidentiality is key, I think, with this for sure. So if you're gonna share it, make sure you don't put the student names, the school, anything like that. Avoid mentioning, anything like that. So kind of just the basics of what we already know. And timeline. So of the 3 data sources, the rewards chart is done on a daily basis. For example, from September to October, we'll start over at the beginning of each week. There's one fixed interval where the behavior is reinforced as a specific amount of time uh, with your notes. So what you observe, you can be done weekly, daily, however you want to, collect your notes. It has, kind of something you'll have there personally. So as I said, it's good information that can be used during parent-teacher interview time. It's always, parents always want to see how well their kids do it, because that's one thing I learned even being in my placement. It's always good to tell them what your kid has done well with beginning and then get into things they need to improve on. And the contract, something you sign at the beginning of the year, and then you'll have that, throughout the school year. Data analysis. So this data will allow me as an educator to know what positive reinforcement strategies work, whether it's the word chart, the positive words, the contract, kind of seeing as you develop what will work and what doesn't. So that's all what teaching is, like really just learning, and doing, and mistakes, but kind of moving on and learning that okay, that didn't work, but this will work. Um, Learning how to looking at their behavior, and yeah, and kind of closing, just positive reinforcement can really improve students' overall attitude and outlook on learning. I think I strongly believe like once students have a good attitude and believe in themselves and believe in you as a teacher, they'll be more than willing to learn anything, and they'll find enjoyment in their education, which is end of the day the most important thing as teachers. Once they're having fun, you're having a good time, everything else will kind of fall into place. And that's what makes, I think, teaching so amazing and so cool. It's like you're always learning. Like you never stop learning, which is fantastic. I learn things from everyone, and This has been a great assignment to do. I learned a lot, and thanks for the opportunity. Thanks, Greg.